Took a vacation with my best friend and I've realized she is the dumbest person I've ever met. I'm a guy and have a female best friend. We've been friends for quite a while, never dated, and I have a girlfriend. We are both in college and I don't know how she is even in college after spending a week with her. Like, I literally don't know how she's gotten this far in life, and no clue how she's going to get a career job. To point out some things, she was telling me about how she is starting to get depression and anxiety. I then asked her to look at her screen time and the girl is spending 7.5 hours a day on social media. That's almost as much time as a full-time job, and she doesn't see how that's damaging her mental health. We were getting ready to leave the house and took a bunch of food out of the fridge to put it in a cooler. She said we absolutely cannot take any ice out of the freezer. I looked at her with a confused look on my face and asked why. She said she didn't want to use up all the ice. I then had to explain to her how the freezer makes ice. We had some beers left over in the fridge. I asked her if she wanted to split the beers between us. She had no clue what I meant, so I had to explain to her that she would take half of the beers and I would take the other half. She drove through some mud that was on the road from some contractors in the neighborhood and then parked on the driveway. It rained the next day. Mud from the car got on the driveway, no big deal. She went to hose it off and then asked for my help. She said it wasn't coming off, and I had to tell her that it's not like a pressure washer where it will remove the dirt in a few seconds, and that she just has to hold it there for a while, and eventually all the dirt will come off the driveway. I checked the oil in her car since she drove 8 hours to this place and it wasn't reading on the dipstick. I told her she needed to add a bit of oil, but she said she didn't need any because it's not due for an oil change yet. I had to explain to her that older cars will burn oil, and she's at risk of blowing her engine with it being this low on oil. She took a hot baking sheet out of the oven and asked where to put it. I said on the stove. It's meant to withstand very hot things. She said, but it's a gas stove and the stove isn't on. Will it damage it? As we were cleaning up, there was an empty beer box. She asks me, do you want this box? Me, what the fuck do I want an empty beer box for? I will still probably be friends with her, but I don't think I will ever be able to go on another trip with her again. I literally lost brain cells from spending a week with her. She is oblivious to every single thing and what I call clinically dumb. She wants to be a police officer, but I do not see that happening. I once had her shoot my 9mm handgun, and once it went off she started screaming and waving the gun in every direction with her fingers still on the trigger and fully loaded. The girl needs so much growing up to do. I don't know if she will ever get super far in life, sadly. I'd love to help and I challenge her to think critically, but she refuses to make any lifestyle changes that will benefit her, such as reading, cutting back on screen time, cutting back on going to bars with her sorority friends, going on some walks in the park, etc. She is the most stereotypical dumb sorority blonde you see in movies. I never thought there was anyone that dumb in real life, but she has proven me wrong.